listening to you for like 10 years or whatnot, however long you've been on.
Yeah.
And we've never politically been in line. But man, I tell you, I finally had to call because I think you're insane to say that, like, Trump is not taking this seriously. And I'm like with that Ryan, the guy that called before.
All right, lay it out for me. I'm not going to repeat myself. I made myself pretty clear to him. Lay it out for me.
Yeah, well, I'll lay it out to you.
I mean, you realize you're an extraordinarily distinct minority in that opinion, Jim.
No, you're trying to say that, like, he would have handled this different if New York was the only place that.
Nope, that's not what I said at all. Not what I said at all, Jim.
Country.
Not what I said at all. What I said was that clearly he's playing favorites with who gets what. And you would think that if he was as smart of a businessman as he pretends he is, if he had that kind of acumen, he would have at the very least realized how financially important New York is, city and state, and saw to it that they wouldn't be going through what they're going through now, that Cuomo would not have to be on television begging for medical professionals from other cities to come and volunteer with the people on the front lines in New York. That's what I was saying with reference to New York. Take it on an emotional level. Let's just think about it from an emotional level.
Oh, I'll take it on an emotional level.
I don't mean you, I mean him.
What would Obama have done?
It's got. I'll tell you what Obama would have done.
Better?
Jim, I'll tell you what Obama would have done, because it's what Obama did, which was that he created global pandemic organizations, all of which, Jim, Trump dismantled just because Obama set him up. When he came in, anything Obama did, I'm going to take it down. Even though people told him, don't lose this pandemic thing, he got rid of all of it. $282 million, said too expensive. Now he's spending $2 trillion. So does that sound like a good businessman?
Well, you can keep spinning this around same way, any way you want.
These are facts, Jim. I'm not spinning anything. I'm not. Trust me, no one wished that he would have gotten it together more than me. I would be rah right behind him if he had gotten behind this and figured it out. I don't want people dying. Don't want it. It's not even a Trump thing. But you're not going to tell me, Jim, that the guy's knocking it out of the park. No one thinks that. You know, he still has senior members of his cabinet whispering in his ear that he's overestimating what's going on. He still has people whispering in his ear, you're overreacting. 200,000 people is best case scenario, Jim.
Okay, well,
it's not spin. Jim, you and I are looking at
Trump is like the biggest idiot in the world.
You and I are looking at the same information. I'm not spinning anything. You and I are looking at the same information. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying about New York? That's his hometown. And he goes, screw you. You're on your own because you didn't vote for me. That's essentially what he's saying.
The United States of America is his hometown.
No, Jim. I understand what you're saying, Jim. I mean, I would like it if he looked at it that way. It's not how he looks at it. He gave Florida everything they asked for, medical supplies, because he knows he needs them in the fall. He doesn't need New York. He knows he's not. What I'm saying is, take it two ways. From an emotional standpoint,
he also needs Ohio, because as we both know, Ohio is a pretty good swing state.
Yeah, but not as big as it used to be in the calculus of the Electoral College. But, Jim, what I'm saying is...
It still counts.
Yeah, of course. They all count, Jim. What I'm saying is that New York is the financial capital of the world. One of them, right? You think at the very least that part would click in and you go, well, man, we got to make sure that they don't have a zombie apocalypse in New York. Just if you were going to go down to your reptilian brain and go, as a businessman, we got to make sure that New York is not in dire straits. Didn't do that.
The whole sorry. You probably just bleeped me. The whole fact of the matter is that you can only do so much for the whole country.
Well, he should have done it earlier.
How was he going to do it earlier?
He could have kept the pandemic
when everyone told him at the end of last year, this is coming, and then he downplayed it. You don't get to downplay it for 2 months and say it's nothing, don't worry about everything, and then turn around and go, oh, wow, Turns out, who saw this coming? Plenty of people saw this coming, and he ignored them.
Okay, so yeah, the whole thing is Trump's fault then.
Jim, those are your words.
That's
those are your words. But you also said he is the president of the United States.
Yes.
He doesn't see that.
Like
never seen himself as the
and
president of the United States.
Crying about Obama.
He's
for the last 8 years that he was there.
Jim, I don't know why you guys keep talking about Obama and Hillary. Who gives a fat frog's ass about Obama? Nobody's talking about Obama. Obama's not even talking about Obama. Only you guys are still talking about Obama.
Because he walked through every good thing that every president before him, at least the last two before him, did for him.
Oh, Jim, come on. Every Democratic president's got to clean up the mess left by the last Republican one. Everybody knows that. Come on.
I'll tell you one thing, if nothing else. I mean, at least Clinton did a good thing.
I don't know why we're going back in history, Jim.
On this nation, he still, he kept things nice.
He did. He also benefited from the .com boom, Jim. You talk about something you had no control over. All right, Jim, listen, I got to move on, brother, but I appreciate the call, okay?
All right,
thank you, pal. Hey, Giovanni.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Is this Alan?
Yeah, Giovanni, what's up?
Hey, listen, I'm not a fan of yours, I'll be honest with you, okay? Well, let me give you the facts on the...
Giovanni, why am I talking to you if you're not a fan of mine? Why am I talking to you? Why am I wasting my time with you if you're not a fan of the show?
You don't want to talk to somebody that's not a fan of you?
No, why would I? All these other people, they might disagree. They might disagree with me, Giovanni, but they're fans of the show. You're not even a fan of the show.
I listen to your show because there's nothing else on, but
there's plenty on.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, what's on when we're on?
You
Nothing.
don't want to hear what I have to say?
There's got to be other stuff on, right?
I mean,
you don't want to hear.
There's like 50 radio stations.
I'm sure you're going to give us some great information.
I'm going to give you facts. Okay. Como has a stockpile of ventilators.
Oh my God!
In a warehouse.
Giovanni,
okay? Number one.
Where did you see that?
Okay. What do you mean? Where did I see that?
Where did you see that? Where did you see that?
It is fact.
Cite your sources.
That's not an explanation. I'm citing my sources, Giovanni. Cite yours, please.
I'm citing my sources. I've seen it, and it's out there.
Well, wait a second.
Number one.
Then why is he on television begging medical professionals to volunteer their time from other cities? And why is he begging the federal government to send them? Why are they loading bodies into refrigerator trucks with forklifts, Giovanni?
Well, that's not the point that I'm bringing up. Right? It's another conversation, okay? I'm talking to you about...
Well, it's kind of all part of the same conversation.
Not giving him the ventilators and the assistance he needs, okay?
Let me tell you... Let me
even touched his personal stats.
Let me go back to the beginning of this. Let me go back to the beginning of this.
Can you let me finish?
Why don't you listen to the show, Giovanni?
You want to listen to the facts or not?
Why don't you listen to my show, though?
Dude, you are averting. You know what, dude? I never spoke to you before. I've been trying, but this is what I knew you would say. So if you don't want to hear what I have to say...
Well, no, Giovanni, I don't need you rattling off nonsense, and I'm not going to repeat myself.
I'm going to rattle off facts that you...
All right.
Cite your sources.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you.
Cite your sources.
Back in 2015, when I had the chance to buy 15,000 ventilators, he decided to spend his money on windmills and green deals that he lost millions of dollars with instead.
Who is this?
These are facts. Como. Okay? Now, he's complaining that the president will not give him his estimated needed ventilators that he does not need at the moment.
How do you know he doesn't need them?
Estimating. What's that?
How do you know he doesn't need them?
Because he has a stockpile in his warehouse.
How do you know that?
Warehouse?
What warehouse is this, Giovanni?
Gubernatorial warehouse?
Listen, don't play semantics with me. I'm just trying to explain the facts.
Giovanni, I don't think you know what the word semantic means. B, where is this warehouse?
Dude, listen.
Okay, thank you, Giovanni. I want to know where the warehouse is. I'm not going to scream at somebody and repeat myself. And why wouldn't you want to err on the side of caution, by the way? Andrew Cuomo is crying for ventilators. I don't think he needs all those. So what? Who cares what you think? Get them to him. Most people don't even know what a ventilator is anyway. I didn't know what it was until this whole thing started. I know what a ventilator was. Right?
Right.
And you look it up, you go, oh, no wonder people need these. It's a respiratory illness. It started out that way. Manifests itself in all kinds of different ways. The red eyes. You lose your sense of smell and taste. That's a big indicator of this. So you guys can keep screaming facts, facts, facts at me. It doesn't make it so. I don't know what this warehouse is you're talking about.
But he saw it. He said he saw it somewhere.
I just wanted to know where he saw it.
He said he saw it.
Well, but if he read it somewhere, then it would have said, this is where the warehouse is, and the governor of New York is not dipping into it. He may be correct, but we're all reading nonstop, and you can't avoid it, whether it's on television or something you're reading. I've never seen one paragraph on Andrew Cuomo's Raiders of the Lost Ark stockpile of ventilators. Maybe it slipped through the cracks. Maybe I missed it. But I certainly trust the guy enough as the governor of New York State. I would imagine he would rather give up the airtime rather than pleading on television every day and just dip into this alleged warehouse of ventilators. Why wouldn't anybody do that? But what do I know? Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I really didn't mean to take an hour doing all this nonsense. I want to do some farts.
I was trying to give a little uplift in your conversation because these past few callers have really been irritating me. They've been hating on you so bad.
Oh, it's fine. I can handle that. I don't care. I just want to know where he's getting his information.
I know, but 4 in a row is getting kind of annoying. Like, they just need to shut the hell up. And
well, no. Listen, I want to hear what they got to say. But you can't.
If they don't like listening, then why are you listening?
They can't stop.
I got to tell you, that is one of my favorite. It's not even a backhanded compliment. It's a flat-out insult, and people hit me up and they go,
I know.
There's nothing else to listen to, so I listen to you. I'm like, there's 50 other radio stations you could listen to. Find one.
I don't like to watch. It's like watching like Cheers in the middle of the night because I don't like to watch stuff else on. There's plenty of options.
Yeah.
Trust me, I love Cheers, but I'm just using that.
Cheers is great.
Oh my God, Cheers! Come on.
First thing that's always on.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something to Mary for your cooking. Yeah. And Doritos. You guys like Doritos too much, so you guys ever have Doritos chicken?
Oh, where you use it as like the breading almost or whatever? It's like Dorito crusted? I've heard of it. I've never had it.
Oh, boy, Dorito crusted.
It's amazing, and I did it with the regular Doritos first, and then tried it again with the Cool Ranch ones, and the ranch ones are much better.
I bet.
Cool Ranch.
Now, would you suggest that on my salmon tonight? Cool Ranch crusted salmon?
Not the salmon, maybe. It might be good, because I like salmon too, but
maybe sweet chili.
That might be good. On the salmon, I actually just use either lemon pepper seasoning or salt and pepper, and that's it.
Got it.
And pan fry it, saute it, put the skin side down if it has skin on it.
Thank you.
Start it with skin side down, and then put the seasoning on it while it's cooking. Flip it over and put more seasoning on it.
Mike, is this all on your cooking YouTube channel?
I don't have YouTube.
channel. Come on, get on there, man. Do this Dorito chicken.
Making it
I work in a damn gyro house. I don't have YouTube, nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the call, Mike.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, no, listen, I got a letter from somebody. They go, everybody I work with in my shop are all huge Trump people, right? And one by one, they finally came around to, maybe this is a legitimate health concern. Maybe this isn't just an elaborate ploy and a hoax. Oh, well, better late than never. Welcome to the club. Don't know what to tell you. Person said I was shooketh, as Poundcake would say, that these people in my shop actually came around. So there you go. Listen, I mentioned the other day that drugs are expensive and gas is cheap. And drugs are going to get even more expensive because they found a huge tunnel between Tijuana and San Diego with tons of drugs in it.
The wall.
Is there a wall between?
I mean, isn't there supposed to be?
It's supposed to be. They said they found $30 million worth of drugs. And it's also
they always like pump those up. That's like top notch what you're going to get for it.
But it's also, what's more fascinating to me is like, they're like, we didn't just find a tunnel. They always find a tunnel with like a rail system in it. And it's got lights.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they got satellite, they got DirecTV in there. They found 1,300 pounds of cocaine, 86 pounds of meth, 17 pounds of heroin.
How many tigers?
No tigers.
They usually go hand in hand.
3,000 pounds of marijuana and 2 pounds of fentanyl. I guess a little fentanyl goes a long way.
Just a sprinkle.
That's what my mom always used to say.
Honey, when
Take it easy on the fentanyl.
cook it skin side down and then crush up more Doritos and then put some fentanyl on there.
Just a sprinkle, like less than a pinch.
Honey, I said fennel. Oh. Appealing, though. I know that you're not supposed to make those illicit substances sound appealing, but I was reading about a dude in Canada that got caught with a bunch of cocaine, and on top of the drug trafficking rap, they also gave him a ticket for engaging in a non-essential business. That's how they roll in Canada. That's how they roll in Canada. Yeah, they're like, okay, so we're taking you off for all this cocaine you're driving around with. Some 22-year-old or 29-year-old guy outside of Toronto in a Jeep. Because the cops kind of zeroed in on him, and then they saw him making a bunch of stops. So they're like, oh, we see what's going on here. So they pull him over. He had a bunch of coke. He had a bunch of money. And they also wrote him a $750 ticket for operating a non-essential business. That's
so
sticking it to you.
Yep.
Oh.
But it is essential.
Stay home.
Yeah.
But it is. You hear that argument?
Hey, Lola.
Oh,
How are you?
hey.
I used to date a girl named Lola.
It's not very real.
She's Puerto Rican.
She a showgirl?
No, she wasn't a showgirl. Sub Lola.
Listen, first of all, I want to thank you guys for being on the air every day. You make me laugh. Please don't go anywhere.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, my God. I've never called in before. I love the show. I just have a couple of questions. Why do they call Poundcake Poundcake?
I started calling him that because you were talking about getting some ass or something, and
I walked in on one of my roommates getting some ass on the futon.
yeah,
He called it Poundcake.
Poundcake.
He said Poundcake about 300 times in his first 2 days on the show. So we're like, okay, there's your nickname.
All right, there you go.
Okay, another question is, don't stop talking about the Tiger King. I love those conversations.
Oh, I got more Tiger King coming up. Don't you worry.
Oh, good. You have a whole segment? Okay.
Well, some, yeah.
I love how you handle the Trump callers. I just love that.
I'm just trying to listen, man. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, man, you know
these
whatever.
people that are like
doesn't make right
spin
now.
it. I'm like, there's no spinning required, man.
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm not a lone voice on an island screaming into the void here. You know, I'm in a pretty distinct majority on this.
Well, it's fun to just let them keep on talking, just
I guess.
what comes next, I suppose.
But
anyway,
it might not seem like it, but my airtime is valuable, Lola, and I don't like giving it to just anyone.
and I just have one more thing. Where Mary has this voice that she does sometimes. What is that called again?
Whitney?
Yes.
Oh, Whitney.
Whitney hadn't been around in a long time.
She got
Whitney
coronavirus.
She got coronavirus, and then she was coughing and wheezing, and she had wet eyes, and it's a respiratory disorder. But she was like, I got ventilator,
She lost her
Was
sense
there a
of taste and
stockpile?
smell.
She got lost her taste of sense of smell, but the governor Cuomo had a ventilator in a warehouse that she got. She went, hello, I need a ventilator from this warehouse, and he said, is that Brittany? And she said, yeah, and he said, I'll cure your coronavirus.
Oh my God, I love you guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay in the air as long as you can.
Thank you, Lola.
Sorry, All
All right, well, today it'll be until 6:30.
Okay, cool.
All
said
right,
tomorrow.
there's Lola out there in Menor, Ohio. Thank you, Lola. I appreciate it. Hey, Mike.
What's going on?
What up?
Not much, man. Just dealing with my two kids for the last 90 days now.
Oh, boy, the 90 days. Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks, bud. 2 or 3? This is the
Yeah,
third week.
maybe for him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, I was just calling because, I agree with you. Like, Trump was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then it's like, oh, it's getting kind of worse. And like, oh, it's kind of worse now. And you're like, well, no,
That's
no
a direct quote, by the way, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The deadest we've ever seen from the standpoint of not breathing.
I think Mike's brain is mush from those kids, too. Can't blame him.
Oh, dude, my house is, like, destroyed.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service, Mike.
I try.
All right, pal.
I didn't feel different. I've always known this is a pandemic. I felt it was a pandemic long before it was called a pandemic. All you had to do is look at other countries. Okay.
All right. Yeah, listen, I got a break. So we'll get to some more Tiger King because there's a little B-roll from the Tiger King documentary that's making its way around. It's funny. Cardi B has done a 180 on Joe Exotic.
Oh.
And the granddaughter of the guy who was allegedly fed to Carol Baskin's tiger has a message for people, too. Oh, my goodness. All right. So if you want to get a text in, please do 35192. Next shot for you to grab $1,000 is coming up around 5:30.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our